guys, Tbo2 here, back with another Tardis tutorial. This is a feature that has been pretty highly requested, so I thought I'd just sit down, test it out, and it turns out it worked pretty well, so I'm going to show it off. So yeah, you'll know by now that we have this monitor feature. You press the button, and whoever's the pilot gets shown a view of the outside, kind of briefly, and then there you go. The monitor now won't work when we're dematerialized because it's targeting for the materialized Tardis, not the dematerialized one. In terms of like a time vortex feature previously, we got this little view of the outside, and then we also have to where when you, but if you unlock the door while you're in flight, it will basically just send you outside pretty much. And yeah, you'll be killed because you're in the time vortex, and then the TARDIS will make an emergency landing. So that's really all we had before for like a time vortex feature. However, today I decided, might as well add some realism and make the monitor still work in the time vortex. So here we go. We have the vortex with all its kind of flashiness and the rings and whatnot, and we have the TARDIS spinning in the center. Very awesome. And yeah, you can just press it again if you'd like. You can go in first person or third person, and yeah, it just looks like this, and in my opinion, looks really cool. So yeah, this feature is actually very simple. Okay, so I basically just went underground and built this big, just plain black room, and then built all the rings and the swirly colors and whatnot. And so how does that actually like play a part in like the monitor and all that? You might notice there's not even a TARDIS in here. So how does all that work? Well, we would have to go back up into the console room here, or rather into the code, but like so it's in this monitor room, and you go downstairs, and there's normally just this for like the normal monitor, and that's it. But now I have an entire second one basically, which is very similar to the first, just a little different. So first off, the main difference is you can see we have one command block over here to start it off. This one has two, and like an AND gate. And what are they doing? Well, this one executes if the TARDIS is dematerialized, and this one executes if the warp button is pressed. And if both of those are true, if the TARDIS is dematerialized and you try to press the button for the monitor, it'll turn on this torch, executing all of this. So this one summons an armor stand inside that time vortex room, and the armor stand is called Tardis Vortex. And over here, I have a couple of things that target that, which is just teleporting the inside pilot to Tardis Vortex. So whenever that spawns, it immediately starts teleporting the pilot to it. Over here we have basic chameleon circuit stuff. Give it just like the basic Mark 1 police box exterior. And then over here, okay, we have execute at E, name equals Tardis Vortex, run TP at E, name equals Tardis Vortex, 3 tildes, and then 2 more tildes, the first having a 5, and basically, this just means that the Tardis Vortex armor stand is teleporting itself to the exact same 3 basic coordinates, but in these last 2 actually control the rotation. So this first one with the 5 controls the rotation. So the TARDIS is rotating, as you saw, or at least the armor stand is, and the player being teleported to the armor stand is therefore being rotated, and that's how all that works. And you can make this number higher to increase the speed, lower to decrease the speed, and I actually did make it a bit lower because it was very fast earlier. So yeah, that's how all that works. So as for the actual monitor feature itself, you activate it, it summons the armor stand, and then moments later, it does this. It executes at Tardis Vortex, sets the game mode to spectator of the pilot who is inside the TARDIS, and then this will turn off, and it'll start the countdown basically of all these repeaters. And once it reaches the end of the countdown of a line of repeaters, which is the exact same amount of repeaters as was over here, which I think is about 13, so you can make that number the same or different, just depending on how long you want the Vortex view monitor to last. And once it gets to the end, it will set the game mode to survival of the pilot who's inside, and then this next one executes in the overworld at the dematted Tardis to teleport that pilot back to the inside of the Tardis, and finally kill the AT-E, which is Tardis Vortex. And we've gone over all these already, so yeah, that's basically all that it does. Very simple, basically just a rehash of the normal monitor system with a few little changes and a nice little time vortex build. And I'll show you that again. And it kind of goes fast at first, but if you go into third person, there you go, get a view of the Tardis. So I did add a second feature as well today. Well, I say second feature, it's a minor thing. Just a minor change related to regeneration, which also has to do with the time vortex. So you might know, obviously, there's the feature where you unlock the Tardis while in the vortex, you'll get sucked right out the door into the vortex where you'll die. Yeah, I was testing that out. The problem is, if you have regenerations while you do that, it'll basically regenerate you inside the vortex, which is really just down there in one of the coding rooms, so it's a little bit screwed up. So, yeah, and it kind of just, especially if you, like, walk out of there and you just see that you're in one of the rooms, like, totally ruins the immersion and just doesn't make sense. So I fixed that, basically. 12 regenerations, and I'm now a Time Lord. And now, we unlock the door, and what happens? Check that out, message. So you'll see that I just kind of died, and yeah, I didn't regenerate at all. And it said a little message that said regeneration disabled. So yeah, you can probably imagine what happened. It disabled my regeneration. I am now a human, pretty much. Tag Tbo2 list. I only have pilot tag, no Time Lord tag, and scoreboard. Players list Tbo2. I don't have any regenerations. So yeah. It basically just reset me to a human, basically, when I went outside. So yeah, basically, you don't want to die that way, because, yeah, your regeneration will be gone if you do that. Speaking of regenerations, let's get myself some of those, just because I can. Alright, so let's head over here to the Time Vortex throwout thing room. Okay, so what's different here? It's really just a couple little things. You can see there's my items from when I died. And this is what I'm talking about. You could literally just walk out into this room. It would ruin the immersion, so I figured, you know, maybe just Time Lords can't really do this, because it'll throw off their regeneration. So that's what happens, is it just stops their regenerating. So yeah, what do we have here? Well, I have these 3 commands, and these are basically just carried over from the Chameleon Arch. So we do this one. It just tells you a Time Lord who's inside the Tardis at the time, title, and it will just say regeneration disabled, very simply. And we have this one simultaneously, scoreboard players reset inside regenerations. So anyone who's inside, if they have regenerations, they're getting reset to 0, and then finally, little delay, and it'll remove their Time Lord tag of everyone inside. So yeah, that's basically how that works. It'll stop you from regenerating if the Tardis is in flight. So yeah, or well, stop you from regenerating if you get thrown out while the Tardis is in flight, basically. So yeah, that's how that works. Let's check out those features one last time. And lock, materialize. Perfect. And we do this. Wham. we have our Vortex view monitor. Very cool. I'm glad and pretty proud of that feature. Simple, but really cool. And then let's just say we were clumsy and we thought, hey, let's just unlock the doors. Not going to harm anything. And look at that. My regeneration was disabled. Very nice. So, yeah. Rather simple feature. I'm going to run a command to get rid of all those items now. And okay, we got our shields on, but whatever. Okay, yeah, that's all. Just two somewhat simple features. Time Vortex view on the monitor, and just a neat little thing, the regeneration disabling. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. I have been Tbo2. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Tbo2YT, to follow my Twitter, which is also Tbo2YT, to join my Discord, and lastly, to have a nice day. Goodbye.